My friends, how are you? It's fantastic to see you for yet another video, and I am just getting into some information about Donald Trump's new plan to absolutely screw America's cattle ranchers now. This man does not know when to stop. He has not caused enough destruction in America, and he has now set his sights on the cattle ranchers. Boy, we've got a lot to figure out here. So this has to do with Argentina. So there's going to be a little bit of setup to all of what is going on. As we know, Donald Trump is working out a deal with Argentina to give them a $40 billion bailout because of Argentina's failing government. Argentina had a similar view of government to the way that Donald Trump and Elon Musk view government, and that is take a chainsaw to the goddamn thing, cut everything out, and that will somehow save money. Now, we saw that backfire a little bit here in America when, the guys in charge of the nuclear warheads had to be called to come back to work because Elon Musk and Donald Trump fired them. We saw it backfire a little bit when all the goddamn airplanes were crashing into each other because Elon Musk and Donald Trump got rid of the fucking air traffic controllers, and we've seen it backfire in many other ways. What we know about this form of government is that it's actually very bad and doesn't do anything good for the people or the government at all. It's not beneficial to anything except the very few people at the top that are raking in all the money that they are allegedly saving for the American people or for the people of that country, right? That's what got Argentina into this mess, of course. And Donald Trump is good friends. I forget his name, the president of Argentina. They're good buddies, all right? Anyways, that's part of what's going on. And you remember when after Argentina was able to secure that money, they turned around and they dropped their trade barriers on soybeans with China, selling billions of dollars in soybeans to China immediately after securing that money from the Trump regime. You guys remember all of that? It was really fucking bad. Now, the thing with the money, the $40 billion going to Argentina, apparently the banks, the big banks in America, are having a lot of trouble securing this loan. They want some sort of securities with this money. It's like JP Morgan's involved, a bunch of shit that's well over my trucker head, my friends, but they are having trouble coming up with a way to provide this money to Argentina or be the backing, I guess, loan official or whatever for this loan going to Argentina. I told you it was above my fucking head, didn't I? Anyways, so the banks are saying we're out. We're not able to help with this bailout or this loan to Argentina because allegedly Argentina has defaulted something like 9 times on bailouts that they've got from other countries. They're unreliable. They're not going to pay this money back. But Donald Trump is pressing forward and is going to give Argentina this $40 billion. You know who's going to pay for it? Us. The answer is us. The answer is the American citizen. Now, while I know this overlaps a little bit with today's earlier video, but I just found out about this, but that's going on while Americans are being denied any kind of affordable health care that we could pay if we weren't paying to bail out Argentina right now. And that's about all we need to know about that, right? Basically, what's happening is Argentina is getting a free ride off of America right now. And there may be situations where you would do that in the world. If America was trying to increase stability in a region, we might fund it or something like that. There may be a lot of reasons, but since we know Donald Trump is corrupt to the fucking core, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with keeping his buddy in power and shit like that, right? It has nothing to do with stabilizing a region at all. The Argentinian government, from my understanding, is very similar to the MAGA movement, and they want more MAGA dorks in Argentina, apparently. So, with all of this going on, my friends, it gets even fucking worse. It gets even more shocking as Donald Trump had made sort of an offhanded comment on Air Force One about buying Argentina beef to bring down the prices for beef in America. And at first, to me, it just seemed like, just like I said, sort of an offhanded comment. Okay, Donald Trump's just saying stupid shit again, until it turned into an actual real thing where Donald Trump is working out a deal to buy beef from Argentina and, of course, import that into America. And there's a lot of things going on with this, but we need to look at a lot of different factors. So Donald Trump is saying that he's doing it to lower the beef prices in America because the beef prices are too goddamn high, right? That's what he's saying. Well, isn't that fucking strange, my friends? It wasn't that long ago that the rest of us were screaming about the tariffs, about how the tariffs were raising the prices on fucking everyone. We were going to pay way too much for shit. Now we can't afford shit because of the tariffs. And Donald Trump and the MAGA movement pressed forward with the tariffs, and they said it's patriotic to pay more after all the years of saying that Joe Biden was the fucking devil because they were saying they had to pay more under Joe Biden. There was some inflation in there at the beginning having to do with Donald Trump's failure to manage COVID. The economy was in shambles when Joe Biden took over. But remember, 4 fucking years of the prices are too damn high. The egg prices are so high that I want to vote against my daughter's rights in the future. That's what it all came down to, right? And then when the prices went higher, they told us it was patriotic, my friends, to pay higher prices at the grocery store. And we said that just doesn't make a whole lot of fucking sense. Now, does it? And in an interesting turn of events, Donald Trump just came to the realization why the world is involved in trade with all other countries all over the planet. It's to keep prices lower, stupid. That's the fucking reason we've been doing this entire thing. So while Donald Trump is still running wild with his tariffs, I don't know what happened with the 100% threat against China, if we're still going through with that or not. I don't know if he tacoed or not because you can't keep up with the son of a bitch. But the point is, while we're going through with all of those tariffs, increasing the prices on everything, Donald Trump is saying that he is doing this to lower the beef prices in America. Now, if we're paying attention to everything that's going on, that's probably not why Donald Trump is doing it. Donald Trump is in cahoots with the government of Argentina, and you can bet that he is somewhere along the line profiting handsomely off of this entire deal. Argentina gets $40 billion while Americans can't afford health care. Argentina gets to sell their soybeans to China while the American farmers cannot sell their soybeans to China. And now Argentina has a new market in America when it comes to beef, as we once again make Argentina great again, my friends. Now the Argentinian cattle ranchers have a new market here in America. And it's said to be done all to keep prices low. And you can bet your sweet tits, my friends, that the cattle ranchers in America are now flipping the fuck out over this entire situation. It is true from the things I've looked at that beef prices have been pretty high. And I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to the Back 40. I believe his name is Will Westmoreland, who I watched him a few months ago talk about how the cattle ranchers were sort of being cocky, being sort of arrogant. And that may not have been the words he was using, but he was saying that they had a certain pep in their step, so to speak, because their beef prices were so high and they were still doing very well in America. And this man, Will Westmoreland, warned the cattle ranchers months ago when he said there is going to come a time where those prices come down, and then what are you going to do? Now, I don't anticipate that he thought that Donald Trump was going to open America up to Argentina's beef market or vice versa. You know what I meant to say there. But one way or another, he predicted that beef prices were going to fall in America and that the cattle ranchers were going to see the negative impact on their industry because of it. And we have reached that day, my friends. If you guys don't know the Back 40, or I think he goes by Will Westmoreland here on YouTube, I don't know him personally either, but I lean into him a lot when it comes to understanding what's going on with agriculture, farming, rural communities around America. And I sit back in awe as I watched as he predicted this entire fucking thing happening. So the point is, the cattle ranchers are flipping the fuck out now because the price of their product is going to come down, and they are not going to be able to profit as much as they have been profiting, or profit at all. And this is what everybody that's been paying attention has been saying for the longest time. It hasn't affected you yet, but there is a time that it will come around and it will start to affect you. So he has already bankrupted our farmers. We are looking at farmers massively getting ready to file bankruptcy if they haven't already, praying for a bailout that is not going to fix the situation with their markets that they no longer have, in a desperate attempt to hopefully keep their family farms. And now, my friends, Donald Trump's sights are set on the cattle ranchers here in America. Another quick headline I saw somewhere was that there's some concern with the disease in beef from Argentina, but I did not get to follow up on that. Well, good thing RFK's in charge of all that, right? We're all totally not gonna die. we're all fucking screwed, is what I'm trying to tell you. But there is some concern about that. But the point I'm trying to make with this is, well, there's a lot of points, but how exactly does this fit the plan that Donald Trump told everybody was what America was going to do? We were basically going to isolate ourselves from the rest of the world through trade wars, right? That was the plan. It's a stupid plan, but that was the plan nonetheless. We were going to put tariffs on everything in the world in an attempt to bring manufacturing back to America, which you guys have heard me rant and rave about that. America has so many other strong industries, things we're good at. I do not understand why we're chasing manufacturing. I don't have a fucking clue. I also know that Donald Trump has done fuck all to bring manufacturing to America. There's no infrastructure bills. There's no massive pushes to entice these companies to bring manufacturing back to America. And the end result, if you bring manufacturing to America, is still higher prices because you're paying for the labor of America's workforce, or you're paying the billionaires for their automated systems, and they don't have enough money. The billionaires are having a real rough go in America. So it never brings prices down. It just fucking doesn't. That's not what happens here. That's not at all what happens. But they told us that that was the plan, right? To get back to my point, was we will isolate ourselves from the world, and that will somehow boost the American industry, and then American workforces, American-owned businesses would all prosper because of it. And if that were true, then we should 100% be cutting off the Argentina beef in the name of profit for the American cattle ranchers. So Donald Trump, just by saying he's doing it to bring prices down, is just a stab in the back to America's cattle ranchers. You said we should all be prepared to pay higher prices. You said it was patriotic to pay higher prices. You said that the higher prices were to keep American business in business, and you just kick the legs right out from under America's cattle ranchers is what just fucking happened. So yes, they are pissed. They are absolutely livid that Donald Trump is doing this now. And we need to get to the point where we need to not be surprised by what is going on right now. All of us that have been paying attention said it's only a matter of time before it impacts your industry, before it is you and your business that is going to pay the cost for Donald Trump's stupid shit. And I'm going to level with you. I'm all for this. I am all for this as it relates to the video I put out earlier today. The more and more people in this country realize that Donald Trump is fucking them over, the more powerful the movement gets for the American people to put a stop to Donald Trump's fascist regime. So with that said, cattle ranchers, welcome to our side. You just got screwed by Donald Trump. Tentatively, we don't really know yet. That looks like it's the plan. But look, the farmers are already running over to our side. That doesn't necessarily mean they've registered as Democrats. It means that they went, oh fuck, we made a bad decision. We put the wrong guy in office, and we need to put a stop to it. Welcome aboard, farmers. You're right in this situation. Eventually, the truckers like me will start to understand what's going on, and then more and more truckers that are out of work, not making money, not getting a paycheck, will go, oh shit, Donald Trump's really fucking us over on this one. And for today, we get to welcome the cattle ranchers aboard, and you are welcome to join the fight. You are welcome to join the No Kings protest and hold up your signs. You are welcome to go out to the town halls if these cowardly Republicans plan to hold anymore, and talk about your dissatisfaction for Donald Trump. And to this day, so this far into the Donald Trump regime, you cannot point to a positive thing he has done for American business. Record number, well, maybe not record number, but many businesses going out of business, many people that cannot afford the tariffs to keep their business in business. The farmers, the cattle ranchers, I don't know. The list just keeps growing, doesn't it, my friends? But nothing about this screams Make America Great Again. Nothing about this screams America First. And I would almost guarantee that there is a lot of corruption going on because the attention that Donald Trump is paying specifically to Argentina points to the fact that there is definitely some corruption going on there. And you have to realize that a lot of this is being done at the expense of the American people. Like I pointed out earlier, we can't even get fucking health care, but Argentina can get a bailout that the banks in America are very hesitant to fund, that they may not be backing at all, and will fall on the backs of the American people because Argentina, especially with no banks involved in this, has no incentive whatsoever to pay back the $40 billion. As a matter of fact, since Argentina has needed a bailout from America to the tune of $40 billion, their soybean industry and their beef industry has improved dramatically. This, my friends, is all about Argentina right now. So there we go. Make Argentina great again. Anyways, I got to get out of here. Love you guys. Bye now.